Hey guys, and we're back with Javier Mendez. How's it going, man?
It's going all right.
I just want to talk to you about some of your fighters, if that's cool.
That's all right.
Okay, so Luke Rockhold is coming off this big win over Tim Kennedy a few weeks ago. Any word? What's up next for Luke?
No, we don't have any word on what's next for Luke. Right now, he's just basically enjoying his time off from serious training, and that's pretty much it. You know, there's not many people that are on the title shot contention in Strikeforce, so it'd probably be someone like Jacare or maybe some of the other newcomers. I mean, who knows? I mean, there's 3 or 4 guys that are in that arena that could be next. Well, we don't know which one it is yet.
Anderson Silva came out saying he would like to get that fight. That kind of had to build up Luke's ego.
Well, you know, we were all excited about that one. We loved that idea of Luke fighting him. You know, we were very excited. We thought, wow, oh, great, yeah, no, let's do it, you know. And, of course, Dana shot it down, and as soon as that happened, then, well, there's no fight.
Right.
The boss has spoken.
Okay, man, so Daniel Cormier finally has an opponent coming up this October, November. Frank Mir. Just talk about this fight.
Well, you know, the funny thing about that is Daniel and myself and his buddy Sean Bunch and Crazy Bob Cook, we were in our pro training room. We were talking about who you may get, who is it. We were thinking maybe, you know, somebody from the Travis Brown or someone of that area that dropped out. Maybe we'll get someone like that. We weren't sure. So we were talking like that. And next thing you know, about 45 minutes later, you know, I guess we did Daniel's fight Frank Mir, and he got very excited. And we never really thought they would bring a big, high-level name from UFC to fight in Strikeforce, and I just kind of shows you what UFC is willing to do to make you know, an interesting fight. Because Tim Silva was originally supposedly potentially in the running. I guess that didn't work out. But go from a Tim Silva to a Frank Mir, that's pretty amazing. Amazing turnaround as far as star power.
Yeah, for sure, and I believe Tim Sylvia came out on the Underground today saying that he was offered that fight, but this is a much better fight for Daniel, eh?
Oh, by far. I mean, you know, to fight Tim Silva, I mean, no disrespect to Tim, but what was it going to gain Daniel? You know, Tim Silva wants to be where Daniel's at, you know. So, I mean, the benefit was all Tim Silva. Now that he's fighting Frank Mir, and Daniel's next fight after this one is going to be in the UFC, what better way to come into the UFC than with the win against, you know, a great fighter like Frank Mir?
When this fight first was announced, I believe the rumor was September. Now they're saying October, November. Is there a reason for that, or was it just never September?
No, it was September originally, but because of the change of such a high-profile guy coming from the UFC, I think they probably want to market it better and make that its own fight. Because I think, honestly speaking, I think that's going to gain a heck of a lot of attention. So I think that's my guess. I'm not talking from know-how here. I'm just talking from guess.
Mike Swick is stepping back into the Octagon this coming weekend. Just talk about Mike's long road back to the UFC.
Well, you know, with Mike, he went from, you know, being on the prelim card on this Fox network show that's on next Saturday on August 4th to being on the main card, you know. So he went from excitement to be back to super excited to be in the main card. I guess an opponent that actually favors the crowd, because if they both come and do what they're supposed to do, you can expect a great fight.
Yeah,
it's
for
going
sure.
to be an exciting fight. If they both come and do what they're supposed to do, it'll be a great fight. You know how that goes. Anything can happen. But if they both come to town, you know, doing what they normally do, that's going to be a great fight.
Cain Velasquez has a rematch with Junior later this year. Can you share with us, why do you think he didn't use his wrestling in the first fight?
Well, you know, it's just, you know, if you think about it, the fight was, I mean, so early in the fight, you know, Cain didn't really get in his groove, so he wasn't able to utilize it. He got hit with a great shot. Junior hit him with a beautiful shot right up top, and you know, he got hit in the right spot. So I don't know if really it's fair to say that he didn't really get to utilize the game plan. I know Cain has stated that he didn't get to utilize his game plan, didn't follow it. And, of course, and I went on and said the same thing, but I always said it based on the fact that Cain said it. But realistically, I mean, it was only a minute into the fight. How much of a game plan could you really have? And also, what made it even worse is Dana White is saying, well, I don't know about you, but I don't know if that was the right game plan. Well, I'm not so sure that 1 minute into a fight there is such a thing as a great game plan.
Recently, Gray Maynard came to the camp. Just talk about how frustrating that fight with Guida was.
Well, with Clay, I mean, honestly, this was a fantastic game plan that really kind of took Gray off by surprise. I mean, it was an ugly fight. It wasn't the standard, Clay Guida fight. Normally Clay comes in and he comes to throwing exciting fights, and this was actually, honestly, it was a game plan that actually almost worked in their favor. As boring as it was almost a potential. If Clay would have connected a little bit more, stood a little bit more before he started off and doing his marathon running, that he might have got the nod on that one. But he didn't do enough damage. Like Carlos Khan did when he did it, he did enough damage to get the win. Clay didn't do enough. So although it's an ugly style, it kind of favored Clay to some degree, because had he stayed in front of Gray, I think he would have really been smashed, and that's what I thought would happen. I never anticipated that Clay would fight like that, because I just didn't think he was capable of doing that. And to some degree, I was correct, because he wasn't successful with it.
Recently, two of your other guys, Nate Moore, Justin Wilcox, had their fights in Strikeforce. Didn't go their way. How's their progress coming?
Well, they're both still taking time off. Justin, unfortunately, got hit with a devastating knee in that first round, and I'm just surprised that he even survived. But how he came back in the following rounds was amazing. How he came back and totally dominated the third round. The second round was a questionable whether he won the round or not. I mean, most people felt he won, but that was definitely a questionable round. But he came back really super strong. I think that Justin Wilcox gained so much experience in that fight that the next time he gets ready to go, he gets the call for his next opponent. It's going to be a great new Justin Wilcox, because he gained a lot of ring time and a lot of experience in that fight. And Nate Moore, I mean, what can you really say? I mean, it was so early. He's just got to regroup and get himself back on track. I mean, he did everything that he needed to do with his coach, Andy Fong, and then the rest is, he just got caught, and it was early.
Okay, before I let you go, I just want to get your opinion on MMA judging right now. Do you think there's anything that can be done to fix the scoring system? Yeah, I wish they had clinics for these guys to be able to judge MMA fights, not boxing matches or kickboxing matches, because I think MMA matches are the most difficult to really judge, and I don't think a lot of these individuals that are judging are qualified. I think that if we can have former MMA fighters be judges, I think you get a lot better decision making, and the right guy will always win versus us going like crazy, like what the hell happened here. I think that that's one of the answers, if we can get more MMA judges that are actually former fighters or present fighters to judge on these guys, because they're the ones who know what's going on. Otherwise than that, they need to have extensive clinics for these guys, because there's just too much going on, and it's like Dana always says, guys, you leave it in the judge's hands, it's kind of shame on you. That's not what he says per se, but that is kind of true, We've seen it too many times, we're just like blown away by the decisions that they make. Okay, man, I appreciate the time. Before I let you go, I wanted to your answer on this one. Aaron Simpson recently called out John Fitch again. Is that a fight that Fitch would like?
I'm sure, John Fitch would like to fight with Aaron. I don't really know where John Fitch is as far as who he wants or what he wants, but, I don't think John will deny anybody a fight. I think if it's Aaron Simpson or whoever, I think he'd fight. John's a fighter, and he's a great fighter at that, so John isn't going to duck anybody.
Anything you'd like to promote before I let you go?
No, everything's good. Appreciate. Actually, they can watch Fight Factory airing August 15th on Nuvo TV.
It was August 13th, I'm sorry, on Nouveau TV.
Okay, good stuff, man. Thanks for giving us the time.
All right, buddy.